Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for Fire Force Chapter 182. When we last left our heroes, the fight between Burns and Shinra and Joker had begun over the fate of Obi. And it was... Initially there was some back and forth, but Joker revealed that the more the fight goes on, the more power that Burns will have, which is not good, because our heroes were not really able to make a decisive blow on Burns, but they're trying. The chapter kind of stopped instead of ended. So let's jump right on into 182, Death in Flames. Once again, Jamie's box has started helping the releases. Just looking through this, like, last time, So Jamie was part of everything except translation. Now he's, like, doing one or two things, so I'm hoping that's, fair and equitable, but I don't know. I'm not a part of all this. Anyway, before Obi's eyes, Burns stands in their way. How will they cross over this wall? And we open where we left off with Burns staring down Joker and Shinra. As time goes on, Burns' heat accumulates and he becomes stronger. That means we don't have the time to persuade him. The story reminds us that we're in stage 1 of his powers. Against Captain Burns, I don't have the room to wait and see. Where am I? And we get a shot of both Joker and Burns' eyes. The scene of this fire. This is a desperate situation. And we see is this part of his Akala training, with his super fire training with Benimaru? Because we see his arm is now, both his arms become like consumed in the flames. Burn. I have to squeeze power from my soul or I'll die. The tension of the pressure of death gives me a stiffened smile. Yeah, this is part of super fire. At all costs, and he gets into like a launching pose. Shining blue flames. Joker comments, so apparently his flames are blue now, which we can't see because it's in black and white. But I imagine it'll look super cool if the anime gets this far. Anyway, shining blue flames. Those flames are stronger and have a higher temperature than usual. We see the little like claw thing appears on Shinra's foot. I will survive. He launches at a kick at Burns. The kick lands. Burns blocks it, but it's like the slash goes through and breaks the block. To think that in only one hit he can move Burns from his position. And Burns steps back. He lands on his feet though. I'll smash through Shinra's kicks. And he lands a punch on Shinra's lower leg. And I can't quite tell how much damage it's done. I think Shinra actually cuts through the punch. And some flames go through to Burns. It kind of fizzles out. Burns isn't really beat up by it. Joker throws some cards at him that he just kind of slaps away. But Joker keeps on going. I guess it's a distraction so that Shinra can get under him with his next attack and launch another kick that smacks him in the chin. And now Shinra's got his knee on Burns' neck and the underside of his knee, and then knees him in the face with his other leg and jumps back. The pressure of death is still written on his face, by the way. And now Joker comes in for some more close combat and screams out, "We'll keep pressing for an answer." There are now just flames and burning cards all around the fight. Burns is not talking. I don't think he's he's audibly said a word all chapter. And Joker sees something that catches him by surprise in Burns' face. Oh, it's an even more powerful Voltage Nova. Shit, isn't it too early? He went and entered stage 2 already. And yeah, he's in stage 2. Right now, his entire body is on fire. Alright, that's a cool look. As it's going, it won't be long until we're unable to land a hit. No. Hopefully it's not already too late. Meanwhile, back in the Nether, Victor and Vulcan are riding a car through the streets. There seems to be a body they left behind? I don't know what's going on there. And Victor calls back to the rest of the crew in the trunk. We should reach Fuchu any time now. And Vulcan grins. Time for the raid. Hinawa looks back. We're falling behind Shinra and Joker. Get ready. Maki kind of stops him. It's dangerous to stand while we're still driving. The lieutenant always told us so, didn't he? Silence. We're rebels, you know. It's fine whatever I do, even leaning out the window. Okay, this is a weird bit. There's no need to be reserved anymore. We're moving in order to completely destroy Fuchu's great prison. Destroy it with all your strength. So he don't want to, like, fuck the rules now. I'm with the rebellion. I'm gonna, like, do rebellion shit. And Tamaki kind of whimpers out, I wonder, I don't think I've become a rebel just yet. Yeah, I'm still getting used to the whole being a rebel thing. What's that? You guys are too quiet. And Maki, Tamaki, and Iris all let out, let's destroy the great prison! Or Iris and Arthur. I thought the one on the right was Iris, but it's obviously Arthur. Anyway. Meanwhile, outside, some of the butchers are watching the flames from the fight with Burns. Burns has had an Adola link, right? Why let him live? And Gold responds, Haumea needs him to be on this playground. It appears she intends on doing a link with a doppelganger. Hold on. Is doppelganger a word that's popped up in Fire Force before? I don't think it has. I don't know. Let's prepare to intercept the other members of Company 8. The darkness of despair is the food to guide this planet to the sun. We will slaughter them, alongside the despair. And the two of them the other two members, both cut their masks. So, where's Haumea? She's still gathering the collective unconscious of the Nether's holiest place. And we cut to Haumea, who is, praying, at first. Then she's doing some, thing with her, mouth, her mouth, drooling, her eyes crying, hands up on what would be her eyes if it weren't for the crown. As Charon kind of watches. And he, has this glower on his face. He's not quite satisfied with whatever it is Haumea is doing. And Jonah walks up to him. Charon, I can't watch this. Soon we will have entered the Pi decoding era. The time is near. I have no idea what that means. As long as I don't have to see Haumea suffering, anything's fine. Alright, so what I initially read as reservation against whatever they're doing is more like his concern for Haumea. Anyway, I can see it. It's flowing to us. The world of the new sun. And we see a sun and the Soul Eater moon. I don't know if that's going to be a big surprise. This is a sequel to Soul Eater. In which case, I should go read Soul Eater. But yeah, it might just be how Okubo draws the moon. I don't know. A sun and moon shining suspiciously. The flames overflowing from the soul meet death in the new world. What is this world in which the evangelist is trying to lead her? To be continued to 183, Strike the Gold. So next week, we're definitely going to be focusing on the Butchers and the rest of the crew as they fight Gold the Butcher and the rest of her whole gang of Butchers. So let's there isn't a whole lot to talk about in that short little scene of the rest of the crew. So let's focus on the more important things for the review. Primarily, we see Shinra is getting better at using Super Fire, or Super Flame, whatever it's called. But it's still no use against an incredibly powerful Stage 2 Voltage Nova that, does that on page 13. Y'all can see that. Which is, not a good sign for our heroes. Yeah, and then he has this full-on, pure flame form. Looks super cool, I will admit. But it's kind of where the fight leaves off. We don't see a lot of what happens after that. This week, that'll have to be put off till next week, I hope, if we're not too busy with the Butchers to check in on the Burns fight. And then there's this whole thing with the collective unconscious in the Nether's holiest place. Also, Jonah's character design is still so fucking weird. He would look kind of normal in Asakusa. This weird thing, he kind of reminds me, for some reason, of, Squealer from the New World. And his, ratness, I don't know. He's a lot to handle. And then, yeah, there's the Soul Eater moon. And I feel like my best guess is that this is a vision of the Evangelist's goal, because the sun is too close to the moon for it to be anything else. I will say, though, if that's meant to be the Earth once it's finally been overtaken in flames and become the new sun, it's a little small compared to the moon. Like, the moon just isn't really, or the Earth, I mean, is like, seems to be smaller than the moon, which is not true in reality. But also, the moon doesn't have a face in reality, so I'm gonna not harp on that too much. Anyway, really the bulk of this chapter is the continued amazingness of Fire Force's fights in general, especially this Burns fight. And I can't wait to see how that plays out. Also, can't wait to see what will happen once the rest of the crew joins the battles with the Butchers and whatever the fuck is going on with Haumea. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe or, do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye.